Greetings, Mark Thompson here, formerly of Mark and Brian. You're listening to the M25 show, which kind of sucks. Mine are good. Mark and Linda, daddy versus daughters. But since you're listening anyway, here it is, the M25 show.
All right. Welcome back to the M25 show. My name's Albert.
My name is Eddie.
I'm Alyssa.
And I'm Steve. And here we are.
Here we are.
I wear my sunglasses at night.
Yeah, I was going to take them off because I can't see, but I've got this.
There's no sun today.
I'm under the weather today. Anybody else feeling a little?
Yeah, I had to take a cough drop.
Eddie, you know what? Eddie's always sick, huh?
No, not. I hardly ever
No.
get sick.
No?
That is the motto of health.
Oh, okay. Maybe it's just last time you said you remember I told you to drink some tequila or whiskey, and did I just tell you that the other day last week?
Mm-hmm.
And then the other week before, you're chewing cough drops again. I just thought you liked cough drops.
Nope.
He likes to taste.
Oh my gosh. Okay. So what's going on? What the hell's going on?
It's
With what?
raining.
Hey,
It's
is
raining a
it
lot.
cold? Is it cold to you guys? Is it cold
Yeah.
outside?
I have my heater
A
on.
little bit. I haven't been outside, but
Alberto, have you felt the air outside at all?
Yeah, I was just outside. It's windy and cold.
Yeah, I was talking to Richard, the Bigfoot hunter.
Is he out hunting Bigfoot?
Yeah, he's all, it's rainy and stuff, but it's not cold at all. I'm like, damn, I go, it's the temperature where I'm at is 49 degrees. What about you guys?
Actually, outside it's not. It is
54.
raining, but it's a manageable.
I got here 50 degrees at the studio.
So the other day when it wasn't it just hot the other day, kind of
Yeah.
really warm.
The
Yes.
weekend was warm, and all of a sudden,
and Monday I
wasn't
think
warm.
it was hot.
It was nice.
So right now it's not cold to you, Eddie.
No, it's comfortable.
well, to Eddie, 80 degrees is cold.
Not outside. I mean, not where you're sitting right now, but like if you're outside, you're not. It's not cool, chilly.
It's a little chilly. 50 degrees. Anything below 60 degrees is cold.
Eddie has to wear a parka.
Mhm.
Is that the
Thermals.
little- what is that? What is a parka thing on the head? What's a parka?
It's a winter jacket. Like
It's a winter jacket. It's like thick.
Oh,
Like
I don't know. I'm
like
thinking,
almost kind of.
an Eskimo jacket.
Yeah.
Or no, I'm thinking, Eddie, you know that like blanket that has the hole in the middle so you put your head in?
a poncho?
Poncho.
No, not a poncho. The one that's made of cloth. You know, it's like a blanket or something, but it just has like a hole in the middle.
A
Put it on.
serape.
Oh, like a henchman?
I don't know.
Serape.
A henchman?
I like Alyssa saying that. What did you say? That's thick.
Yeah, it's like a thick material. It's like a blanket with a hole in it. It's a serape.
I might like that. That's how I like my women.
Thick?
Yep.
Thick.
Thick with a hole in it.
Thick with the hole in it.
That's right.
A hoodie.
Okay, I had something. Okay, first of all, Alyssa, I want to thank you for setting up that Super Bowl pool for us. That was really
Oh, you're
cool of you.
welcome.
And Super Bowl set up, and it's the Chiefs versus the Niners. And I wanted to talk about because there's been years I've been a Chiefs fan for years, and they have never really made it to the big games, right? For years until the past 4 years ago or whatever.
Till
And
Mahomes.
except for like the Raiders and stuff, the rivalry games. But you never hear anything that, oh yeah, your team's cool or whatever. But I've realized once your teams are winning, they don't like you. And I'm like, man, it's a weird that it's you would think it'd be the opposite. Like when you're
Right.
winning, people don't like you when you're winning.
I was
If
gonna
you're
say,
not winning,
Eddie's kicking your table, thinking it's you.
oh. But my point is, and if you're not winning, and you're not as your sub team
There
or
he goes
whatever
again.
you're involved in, you're okay. You're cool. And it goes to
Well-
like social life too. Like if you may not say it, but like if somebody's doing better than you, I mean, you might call it jealousy or something sometimes, but you really don't. A lot of people don't like that when you're better. You know what I mean? And I've noticed that because my team and I'm here like, oh man, Chiefs. Everybody hates the Chiefs now. I remember when they finally made it to the Super Bowl, everybody wanted them to win. Now they don't. They're like the worst, the villains of everything. I'm like, damn. They're finally winning, and now that they don't like them now. And it's just like, it'd be like if, Alberto, I know you have a couple teams, the Panthers and the Chargers, right? Let's say the Panthers all of a sudden make the Super Bowl. Everybody's going to root for the Panthers because they haven't been
yeah.
there in quite a while, right?
They were there 50, so.
Yeah, but I mean, they're
I mean,
not.
yeah.
If they were in the Super Bowl this year, people will
Well,
be rooting
it's-
for the Panthers. Come on.
I think it's an American thing to root for the underdog. That's
wouldn't.
always. Thanks, Eddie. It's
I
you know,
guess
like it is. I mean, I think, especially now, I think if you're a fan of the Chiefs, you're rooting for the Chiefs. I think if you have no dog in the game, like your favorite team's not in it, you're not a Niners fan. I think a lot of people will root for the underdog. It's something in the American way that we root for the little guy.
Well, the rooting for the underdog's cool, but people
And
hate
there-
the team. Like when you
and-
hate the team, you just don't like them because they're winning too much. They don't want you to win. Forget about the underdog. This is a whole different thing.
But then another
like
part
the
is,
Patriots.
we
Remember
don't.
when the Patriots are winning? Everybody hated the Patriots.
Yeah.
I
I
still hate
get
the
it.
Patriots.
Well,
I get
Dallas
it now.
doesn't win. Dallas
Oh,
doesn't
it
win,
was-
and I
it
still
was-
don't
it-
like them.
It was a fumble, Eddie.
I still hate the
Dallas-
Patriots.
It was an
Yeah, I
incomplete
still hate
pass, Eddie.
Dallas.
Dallas is different. I don't know. I think
Well,
people don't like them
they're-
because
they're-
they always screw up.
No, not only
They're
that. I mean, then you have franchises with obnoxious fans. People. I think Eddie and Alyssa being Raiders fans, they have a reputation. So Cowboys fans, even when they're not winning, they have a reputation.
Remember when the Bills
But-
went to 4 Super Bowls in a row, and I didn't hate them. I don't
I don't hate them either.
I
But
thought
I
they were
mean,
good. They were a
imagine
good
if the
team. but
Bills
they-
went to if say the Bills were in it this year in
Well-
the past 5 years and they're winning,
Or like I said, no,
I'm sure people are gonna say, damn Bills, damn it.
well,
They don't like him. Get those fuckers out of here.
had they won, let's say the first two, then at some point get them out there, get somebody else. I don't know if it'd be hatred, but
My point
but-
is when you're winning, people don't like it. That's just it. They just
Well,
people
it-
don't like when you're better than them. That's just it.
well,
What-
look at rich people. Everybody hates the billionaires.
That's what I'm
Elon
saying.
Musk. Unless they're doing special things. If you're
I don't hate 'em.
successful,
You can be
I don't hate
poor
'em.
and be a little bit better than somebody else, and somebody else is jealous of you. It's just the way our world
it's-
is, the way people are. There's
a
good
re-
people
there-
too,
there's-
but there's a lot of people that's where the word jealousy comes from.
there's a reason that's one of they call it the 7 deadly sins.
Well, I'm just,
I think it's the worst.
I'm
Being
witnessing it now.
jealous about somebody is
Like the
bad.
Raiders, I don't hate the Raiders. They're the rivals. But I've always told Eddie, I've known Eddie a long time. I go, you know what? Without that, then there's no fun in the game.
Mhm.
You don't even care. Why even watch it?
Like
You
I
know,
don't hate
that's-
I don't hate the Chiefs. I just when they're playing the
don't-
Raiders, I want them to
even-
lose.
even when the Patriots were winning, I was like, man, these guys are, it was like, but I didn't hate them, but I was like, man, I wanted to beat them. I wanted my team to beat them. That was my thing, but I didn't hate them. I was like, damn, I gotta beat them because they're good, and you want to beat them, But I never. I'm here, just I can see the swing of things when it happens. It'd be like if the Raiders Super Bowl for fucking 8 years in a row, and they're winning. You don't tell me that there's going to be more hate for your team than there
I'm
is.
sure.
Come on, they're going to say, "Wow, these guys, somebody just beat these guys or what?" Just I hate the Raiders. I hate or the Chargers or It's just the way it is. If you're a losing team, nobody gives a shit.
Mm-hmm.
Unless they just don't like you. Like if there's a rivalries where people are getting really serious about it, and they make fun of like I hearing things about the Raiders, their stadium saying, oh, they're gonna have 2 other teams painted in their end zone, right, in their own home, and it's like, well. They do that every year wherever they go,
That's every stadium.
But
That's every Super Bowl.
That's the way it is.
But there's people out there that have that kind of hate where it doesn't matter if you guys are winning or losing. You know what I mean?
It's that kind of mentality.
I think maybe because it is the rival Chiefs being painted on their field, they have a problem with it. If it was the Ravens, maybe it wouldn't be as bad.
But technically,
when you're a rival and your rival is way better than you and making Super Bowls and all that, then it kind of hurts more.
Yeah,
and it's a long-rooted rivalry. It's like from the beginning of the AFL. So,
I just I said, I just see it when somebody or something's winning, people don't like it. They may like it once or a little bit, but after that, once you're a winner, it's no good in people's books.
Well, I think that's why they have it.
Irony.
But that's a very American way.
That's why they have it at a neutral site, right? So there's.
Mm-hmm.
Unless sometimes you play in your own, if you're lucky enough to win that year.
Yeah, but that doesn't happen too often. Was the last team Tampa Bay?
The Rams.
Tampa Bay and the Rams.
Oh, the Rams. Yeah.
I think it happened 2 years in a row.
Back-to-back years, and then. Well, what was the old joke a few years ago? I think I told you guys they're going to move all the Super Bowls to Las Vegas, so there'll never be another home team in it.
Unbelievable.
They're going to move who?
They're going to move all the Super Bowls to Las Vegas.
Oh no!
So there'll never be another home team.
Alyssa, what do you think about that?
I don't know. I was going to ask you guys what you guys thought about the whole thing about NFL being scripted.
I heard that too, but I kind of don't believe it. But who knows? I don't know.
Yeah.
When they talk about it, it makes you think of like.
I don't want to believe it. I don't.
Yeah, me either. Because I'm like, because it'll be like wrestling, and I don't want to watch it anymore.
Could you imagine if it was how all these players keep quiet? They get a script in the beginning of the year. Can you imagine every single player never saying nothing?
And it's not like the stars, okay? Or you say, they're making millions of dollars. You got the backup, offensive lineman making what? I don't know, 100,000. I don't know how much they make. What's the minimum? For some it might be worth it. It's not like they're all millionaires.
Yeah, they're saying it's all the refs.
Or it could be the refs that do it, that make the game
call the bad calls, and
Well, sometimes you do wonder about the refs. Why some of these calls? Sometimes you do wonder, but I don't want to believe it. I want to.
So if it's scripted through the refs, I would believe that more than the players, because I can't see every player in the NFL always having a script, and nobody, maybe one crazy person comes out and says it, and you're like, oh.
I mean, unless you want to say, as Alyssa was the pro wrestling way, that it's just determined. Okay, this team's going to win. Now but you're talking about what? How many? 53 players per team, so 106 players, all the coaches, all the refs, making it happen. I don't know.
You would think
I would be say against it just because of all the gambling. They don't want to mess that up, especially now they're getting more into FanDuel and all those gambling sites. Mm-hmm. But then, the other side says, because they're involved now, they got to fix it, and it's been forever. There've been bad calls since the first game, probably. Anytime your team gets a bad call, you're going to think it's collusion or it's fixed.
Sometimes it's obvious.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's obvious, but
Well,
sometimes they do. They
but
sometimes it's more obvious to the person that's on the opposite, on the losing side. Then
but
you're like,
well,
sometimes they'll go back and review it and change the call, which is good.
Mhm.
But a lot of it sometimes.
but
well,
I
I mean,
don't think.
sometimes
nobody
it's
say,
obvious.
you say it's obvious, but I mean, yeah, sure, it's obvious if you slow down the film,
Yeah, that's what I mean.
one frame, maybe 10 seconds or whatever, as slow as possible. But I mean, you're thinking about people on the field watching it in real time.
in real time, it's totally faster. A
Yeah.
lot.
But I mean,
it's harder to call.
there's been bad calls in every sport since the
Mhm. Yeah.
dawn of time or whenever.
And then it's always, oh, the refs love this people, or the refs love this, and they're always bailing these
Or-
people
You know,
out.
they,
and they're
they
always,
in baseball they want to stop the refs from calling balls and strikes because they'll miss it. And it's like it's been like that since 1900. Okay,
They're human beings. They're human
you know,
beings.
Yeah.
they're
I
gonna
think if
it's gonna be a ball.
scripted,
They're gonna call a strike.
if scripted, it's with the refs. I can't see
Yeah.
all ball players in whatever leagues or whatever that are all gonna agree. There's
It's
got to
too
be
big.
somebody going, you know what? I didn't sign up for this.
It's
Got
too
to be
big a
one
conspiracy.
person, one
But
person that fuck. That,
even if you tell the refs to do it, I mean, the players have to do. You tell the refs, make sure you get a pass interference or something. The players would have to be on it to throw the pass. Otherwise, what do they run 3 times? For the touchdown.
well, I got to pass
You know,
sometime.
it's. Well, maybe they don't pass.
Well, I've never watched a football game where they never.
Well,
passed
I'm not saying the whole game. I'm saying let's say it's, first and goal on the 2.
I don't know.
They're gonna score the winning touchdown, and they need the refs to stop it because they need the other team to win.
Well, they just call us. They call another foul. They call holding or something. I mean, a ref can do whatever they want. They could just say, "Hey, you taunted him," or you. They can throw a flag for anything. And you're like, "What did he do?"
Yeah.
It doesn't have to be a pass. It doesn't have
Well,
to be a handoff.
No,
or
what
a
Well,
face
happened? Why
mask.
is there a flag?
Well, that's why they have the women refs now. They can throw the pass and not give any reason.
Yeah, but I think it would be the
They-
refs.
They tell the
Yeah,
player,
I
you
think so,
you
too.
know what you did.
Yeah.
Because I mean, I've heard a couple of players say like, like I don't even know who they are, but came out and said, "Oh yeah, it is." It's like, yeah, before every season we all get a script. And sitting there, there's like one person out of how many years of football says this, and then you're thinking, more people
he
would
was talking-
come out.
Maybe he was talking about the playbook.
Well, maybe that's why he's not playing
Or
anymore.
it's the
Playbook
I
and a
mean,
script.
what do you believe about that Super Bowl logo color theory that the 2 colors on the Super Bowl logo representing the team?
I don't believe that. Come on.
Yeah.
If you know what?
Well, they
if
were
it was,
saying that it
could have
was
been
the
refs.
Ravens. Yeah, because they were saying that it was going to be the Ravens
Yeah.
and the 49ers.
Unless they go, oh crap, they found out, so let's throw a
Yeah,
curve.
let's change it up. And that's
We'll
why
throw,
he missed the
we'll
field
throw the
goal.
Chiefs in there.
Kind of shake it up so they're not on to us.
Yeah.
No, the Ravens just didn't play a good game, and they lost.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think it's scripted. I just think people get when their team, like I said, when your team loses, you complain.
wanna
and
make up an
you
excuse.
find things and and it's like when you think about it, yeah, maybe that time your team didn't get the right calls or didn't win.
Yeah.
But hey,
Yeah,
there's other
there's a-
times when your team won and you're all happy, and there's other people
Yeah,
going,
yeah.
man, that's not
Yeah,
fair. That was wrong.
they got a foul that they didn't get called on, and that's the way it happens.
So I
Too
think
many
it's
people-
balance. It's balance.
Too many involved to be scripted. I think that's over 100 players each
More
Sunday.
than that. There's like
Well,
how many people on a roster on one team? Like 50, was it 52?
53?
53 on
53?
one team. Yes.
So 106 on both teams plus coaches.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's too big.
Plus-
Too
Yeah.
many
Plus
people
all
involved.
all the coaches, all the refs.
and then
And
what
you
you got to
think
get you got
somebody
you got
would retire and go, you know what? I didn't sign up for this. I'll go. The people that were really good that can play 2 sports and say, well, I guess they would jump into another ring
Well,
of fire. But
yeah. Well, the other league has to be scripted too.
yeah,
but-
so basically we're saying if it's scripted, it's all sports are scripted. Because you can jump from like football. Say you're a 2-player baseball and football.
Mm-hmm.
Screw you guys. I'm gonna blow the lid off and tell the secrets, but I'm gonna go play baseball. And it's scripted there too. I don't know.
I
Good,
think it's
good,
just sour,
good topic,
sour,
Alyssa.
sour grapes if you think it's scripted.
I don't know. The
Who's
logo
barking?
thing, I never even thought of the logo thing till somebody just mentioned it. And you're like, yeah, well, like it kind of happened in the past few years. But
It's
if you
a
go back before when they were showing the past, what was it, 4 years or whatever?
I
What
forget
about
when
then?
I forget when they started doing this kind of logo because you remember. I mean, back in the days, remember those nice like logos for like individual Super Bowls, themed to wherever the city was. And then after 50, they went to that, the Lombardi Trophy and just basic Roman numerals. I don't know when they went to this kind of more with colors in the Roman numerals.
I thought it
But
was always Roman numerals.
well, they always have them, but
Yeah.
the logos used to be different. Like every
Yeah.
it was unique to every Super Bowl. It was kind of special. I think one time in New Orleans, it was kind of like a Mardi Gras. In the 2002 was the United States, the country, red, white, and blue because of the September 11 attacks. So they used to make like individual logos, and then like after 50 or something, they went to like it's just like the Lombardi Trophy, and then just the numbers, the Roman numerals underneath, and then they went in. Then they changed into this with the Roman numerals now are thicker, and then they put some kind of design and colors in them.
I never really looked that hard.
I know. Like, I don't remember.
Sorry.
I don't remember that far back.
I mean,
Just
even
go
the
back
Roman
and look at it.
numerals, even when they
Just-
come
Yeah.
out, I don't even know what they
Now
are.
I'm
I
gonna
don't.
Google it.
I only know so high, and I'd have to Google.
Like Google-
hey, what
Google
Super Bowl is it
anything-
this year? 50 what? I don't know how to
58.
read that shit.
58.
Well, I know what it is now, but I mean, when they throw all these things up there, you're like,
L-
oh my
Yeah.
god, you're trying
L-
to think back how the Roman numerals were in school, and I don't know.
LVIII.
I know what it is now because I looked it up, but
What-
when they
what's the
start
next?
doing this Roman, they start getting all crazy with all these.
What's the next here?
Are you looking forward to the
59. It's
to the
fucking-
halftime show?
I. Oh no, LV
There's
one
an
X.
LIX. LIX.
Yeah,
Lix.
LIX.
Super Bowl.
Are you looking
Lix.
forward to the halftime show?
Oh yeah, Steve's a big Usher fan.
Are you, Steve?
Are you talking to me only, or are you talking
Yeah.
to all of us?
To everybody.
I don't know one Usher song unless I heard it and I would go, "Oh, that's him." I don't know too many
But I
songs.
thought, isn't Reba McEntire also going to be there? And
Is
Is
she
she gonna be
really?
okay?
Post Malone.
I'd rather see Reba McEntire than Usher.
I
don't
like
know.
Usher.
Oh, there's more than one. Oh,
I
they're
thought
playing
that.
with
I mean,
Usher?
that's what I've
Or-
heard. But who
Or
knows?
somebody singing the national anthem.
Oh, yeah,
Yeah.
that's probably what it is.
Taylor Swift's going to sing the national anthem.
Oh, lordy.
Good lord.
That's Steve's girl right there.
I mean, everybody
even
keeps
know.
hating on her. I'm like,
I
I'm
saw
happy
somebody make.
they're happy. Okay, I'm happy they're happy. However, because she's famous, I don't think she needs to be shown every single play that Kelsey makes. We don't need to see her every time. And
Well,
we
you
don't
can
do
blame
that with everybody else.
That's the NFL.
You
That's-
know?
they want money. They want to make money. That's not the.
I-
They
I
show
agree
It's not the
Sierra.
Kansas City Chiefs
Do they
holding the camera and going.
Did they used to show Sierra with what's his name, Russell?
I agree with
Her
Alyssa.
husband?
They
I
show
saw
They
it
don't
too
show
much.
her.
I've seen her, but
You
The
don't
way
see
she's
her in the
reacting.
games
It's-
at every single game.
well, that's the NFL. The NFL runs all of our teams. You're going to be mad at someone. Don't be mad at Travis Kelsey or the Chiefs. Be mad at the NFL. They're the ones that are.
I know
doing
that's
this.
what I was like. NFL needs to stop with that.
But,
Most people
it's
that
not
watch
her
the
fault.
NFL are there to watch the NFL.
I don't
And I
think
mean,
it's NFL. I
it's
think
not anything against her or their relationship. Yeah, I'm happy they're happy or whatever. But we don't
I
need to see
gotcha.
her all the time.
I think it's the
Yes,
broadcast.
I'm one of those
booth.
people.
It's the NFL. I mean, that's what they do. I mean, if it was
Yeah.
like when Eminem finally going because his team's finally in there, they're showing him. I've never seen him before. I don't give a shit to see Eminem. I mean, he's a cool dude and all, but I
Yeah.
don't care to see him. But hey, they show him because he's a famous dude and he's rooting for his team. Who else is famous? Who's a big famous person right now that you can think of besides those two? If they
For
were in
the
this-
Chiefs
if
or
they-
49ers?
anybody, just a movie star that's huge. Like just say Brad. Well, no, it's got to be a girl,
Ice
right?
Cube. Ice Cube is a total Raiders fan.
Okay, let's say Ice Cube is. Well, I can't say. Well, say he's dating somebody on the Raiders, but if
Oh,
he
no.
was, they'd be showing Ice Cube.
Yeah.
And they'd show him anyway because he's there, you know. They always show, not all the time because, I don't know, it's a weird situation because it's, I don't know. Like I said, I never even know what's her Taylor Swift's music. I couldn't tell you a song.
Do you think she understands the game?
They're dating, so
I don't
you
think
know.
so. That's why I always, whenever they showed her, I'm like, woohoo! She's excited because they made a home run.
Okay. I'm sure she understands the touchdown, but I mean, a screen
Yeah,
pass,
she
I don't
might-
know.
Yeah.
Even if she didn't,
Pass interference,
she's
I don't
there-
think she'd get that.
she's there
Offsides,
for it.
I'm not sure.
Just like everybody's about who is that girl you're talking about for Russell Wilson? I've seen them show her when
Sierra.
they're playing, and I'm like, who is he? I don't even know who that is. Is she a singer?
You-
Who is she?
You
She's a singer.
did you think Giselle Bundchen knew about football back?
Oh,
She was
so
with Tom
she used to
Brady?
show her all the time, and I didn't know she was a model until they said, "Oh, she's a model," and
Mm-hmm.
she was a pretty famous model, and I didn't even know that. But they always showed her all the time.
I don't remember
Yeah.
seeing her. See,
I mean,
All the
you would
times.
see her in the post, Super Bowl
You only see her in the
celebration,
Super Bowl.
but I mean,
yeah,
well, you might see her one time, okay, she's here, and
Yeah.
then that's it, but every time he threw a touchdown pass, it didn't pan up
Well,
to her.
Well, maybe
Right.
the NFL's getting greedy. They're trying to make more money and more money, and if apparently
supposedly
she's a
she's
big
made
star.
the
Maybe she's a
NFL
big. Is she a big star? Like a huge? I don't know.
Yeah.
Is she like?
yeah, she's a
Well,
big star. But
But which
supposedly
were
they're
we-
saying that she's made the NFL $331 million or something
From
crazy
just showing her
from
face.
just showing her and people watching the games and people. Yeah,
I'm sure the merchandising and all this,
Yeah.
NFL Taylor's version. I'm sure they're making money off of it.
Exactly.
They're in on those T-shirt sales.
yeah.
Maybe. So they're just gonna buy jerseys because she or whatever she's wearing in the booth.
Mhm.
They'll buy those
Because
shirts.
they're
or whatever.
Swifties. That's what her fans are called, Swifties.
But I've never seen her wear a jersey. I've seen her wearing like jackets and shit like that, like
Yeah.
special jackets. I don't think people can get those. Like
I think
like
they're
a
probably good. I think I
Yeah.
have seen her one time wear.
I'm
jersey.
saying they weren't buying what she's wearing. I mean, they can merchandise, make stuff up specifically about her, and the fans will buy it.
I have
Right.
no idea. How did we get in talking about this? What were we talking about, Alyssa? I forget.
You
stuff.
asked,
weather?
you thanked me for making the Super Bowl poll,
Oh, and we went to
and
okay.
we just went off.
Okay.
No, Steve.
You want to
Steve
read
was
those
mad.
comments?
Steve was mad that people were hating on
Oh
him
yeah,
for being a
people were
successful
hating his
Chiefs fan.
team.
Oh yeah, I know that feeling now because I've never had it before because my team
See,
was never winners like
People are
everybody
spitting on you.
else's.
People are spitting on your car because you got the license plate frame.
Oh, just like Chiefs. Just I wish somebody would just beat them. It's like
What about
okay.
how
They
do you feel
probably
about?
think, oh, look at that bandwagoner.
That's what I was gonna say. How do you feel about the bandwagoners?
Oh, I don't care. I don't give
Oh.
a shit about bandwaggers or any other.
He's frozen.
I'm just happy
No,
my
we can
team
hear
is
him.
just like you guys. If your team was in it, you'd be happy too,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
I mean, you'd be like, it's one thing to like have like a Super Bowl party just because it's a Super Bowl, and it's another thing when you're having a Super Bowl party and your team's in it. It's
Your
a
team's
whole
in it?
different. It's a
Yeah,
whole
it's a whole
different
different-
level.
yeah.
I remember I had when the Raiders were in the Super Bowl. I had a Super Bowl party.
Eddie was a
Well,
young kid back then.
I wasn't.
I was
It
gonna
was-
say,
it's
oh
more.
yeah.
You're more excited, And,
Oh yeah. Plus everybody, most of the people that were there were Raider fans, so it was.
Yeah.
And you saw
my parents
people-
was
and
nice.
you saw Gruden kick your team's ass.
oh. See, shit like this, shit like this that Alberto just proved.
We used to always have Super Bowl parties, but like growing
Is-
up.
Hey, you guys remember Ramon? You know
Yes.
Ramon,
Uh-huh.
the jailbird. Well, I had asked him if he wanted to join the pool. He never got back to me, so he's apologizing now. That's how things work. People
Yeah.
always. Well, yeah, I heard you, but I didn't get back to you. But now that we're live on the show, they say they're sorry.
He was busy,
You know,
but he
call the
says, "Go
warden.
Chiefs."
Call the
There's no
warden. Tell
gambling?
him
There's
tell
no
him to put him in
gambling in
lockup. See, next
Yeah.
year we got to plan it more. We have Ramon pass it around the cell block. You can do the whole 100 squares with him.
Yeah, they'll buy them all, but they won't pay for them.
We got to make sure we get the money first.
They'll give you a cup of
carton of
soup
cigarettes.
or
Oh no!
a roll of toilet paper.
Oh gosh. Or was it those ramen meals they make?
Yeah, cup of noodle or
Yeah.
yeah.
I'm just messing with you, Ramon. Well, maybe next year.
Enjoy lockup.
Yeah.
Hoodie.
Next
Milton
year, I
Hill
think we're
says
gonna do 50 scores because Steve was like a hustler this year, man.
Yeah, because you first said 100, and I was like, oh man,
That's a lot. I'm like, I don't even know
that.
100 people.
I mean,
Hey, but
if you want to do 100, you're almost starting in December, like right as the playoffs start,
Mhm.
or early January. I mean, you can't leave it.
I think if we
almost the
did
last second.
100 and did $5 squares, they would go pretty quick.
I think the biggest pool I think it was $100 a square, but the payout was like 10 grand.
Yeah.
Wow.
For 100 squares?
Yeah.
I mean, if you do 100, if you do 100 squares, $10 a square is pretty nice because that's that's $500 for the win. I mean, that's pretty good. But like I said,
you have to know
people that are knowing people who have done them before, and I've played in theirs. They tell me it's hard. It's hard to you think it's easy. Like, oh yeah, you think people want to do it, but you got people who don't want to. Like,
I think
sometimes you're scrambling.
Right. We did it right, just to get it started. They know now because I had some people go, "Hey, do you got any more left?" And I go, "No, sorry, they're gone." So now they know if we do it again, hey, they know we're playing. So hey, I want some squares ahead of time. I already got.
I think I only won it. I think I've only won it one time.
I've won like a quarter.
There was one year where I won
a first quarter or third quarter. I can't remember.
Yeah.
There was one year when I won. That was nice.
So, Eddie, you won the whole thing, or you just won a quarter?
I won the whole thing.
Oh, the final?
First, second, third, and fourth quarter?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Was it your pool you made?
No, it wasn't my pool.
I'm going to say maybe it was Eddie's
pool. Eddie made the pool and he bought 99 squares. It was him and another person.
My daughter won like two quarters one time, I think, or half time and a quarter. I was like, wow, I'm lucky.
My daughter this year actually won that suicide. Do you know how they have those suicide pools?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah, she won. She won that. She won that one this year. I think she had almost $700.
Wow. How many people do you have to pick?
I don't know how many people, but I remember it was like $20 a buy-in. So
I've heard about those, but I don't.
Crazy.
I'm not very.
I know. I
never done.
I've heard about them too, and I think they're kind of weird, but I don't know. I don't want that like on my conscience. Like, oh, I picked you to commit suicide, and now you committed suicide, so I win money.
It's football.
Football. And you know what though? There are people like that. There are.
It is not life and death, Alyssa.
It is because there is pools that.
Alyssa's thinking of
and there are pools of like people, like a death pool.
Oh, Deadpool. You're thinking of Deadpool, like who's gonna die?
That's what I thought he was talking about.
Oh God. Eddie, is that what you're doing?
Alyssa went dark.
No.
Dark. I went dark.
You know how you pick a team to win, and
no wonder Eddie did the whole thing.
It's hard because you can't pick the same team twice. You have to pick a different team every week.
Eddie, you just got to buy squares. That's it.
No. I'm talking about the suicide.
I know. Forget that suicide stuff. You need to get
the year before. I was the third player or was the second to the third to the last player to get eliminated.
So you haven't won.
How many weeks? No. How many weeks did you go? Because I had the same thing. I was one of the final. I was the final three.
I think I was
all the way to week 13.
I think I went to the Suicide Squad. I
think I went to the 14th week, and then I got eliminated.
I don't even understand this. You just pick who's going to win. It doesn't matter what team.
No. You have to pick a different team every week. You can't pick the same team twice.
That has to win or lose.
It has to win for you to keep going. Otherwise,
so what is it called suicide for?
It's really survival. I mean, I've heard
it's really survival.
If you go to Yahoo, they call it survival. So I mean, you got to pick correctly to survive. I don't know where the term suicide. I mean,
I don't know what is, but it's a survival pool because you have to survive every week or try to survive.
So you just pick any team, not the same team.
That's why I need the NFL script so I can.
Oh
pick the right.
Yeah.
So, Alyssa, next year if we do 50, oh, wait a minute. $10 is good, right? $10 is good for a square, right? Because I notice some people, sometimes they do 5 for the big ones. And I notice people buy like a lot of squares that way. But, the more money you can't, it's like, okay, I'll take 1 or 2. But I've noticed like when it's cheaper, some people buy, I'll take like 5 or 10 squares. Like, damn. Is it
Mhm.
just
Yeah.
because it feels like it's cheaper? Because you buy 10 squares.
That's
You're
$50.
right.
Yeah, it's like,
I mean, you only give yourself 10% chance of hitting a correct square.
Yeah, you increase your odds if you buy it.
like the one we did, we could have done $20, right? Because it's so
Yeah.
small.
Mhm.
But most people are just going to buy one. So we'd have to
Yeah.
know 25.
25 people.
Yeah. Unless, people, oh, you give me 5 squares, and be like, holy shit, maybe we should have made 50.
Yeah, I mean, you just set your price, whatever you want. Some
Well,
people
it's
do
still a week away.
$50. High rollers do 100. It's like, ooh,
It's still a week away, Steve.
Well, it's full, Eddie.
And we can do another one.
they take another
Oh,
one.
God. Maybe
If
release
you-
this one because I didn't release it to our.
You didn't release it to the
listeners.
public?
I wanted to try it with us four, that people that we know first, and see how it goes. And if it didn't go anywhere, then I was just gonna post it on here for everybody. And it actually went good, and we didn't need to do that. But next time, I think we'll do it like that. So I think maybe get a few more. I don't know. Just like I messaged Ramon.
We'll
A few
expand.
people I was thinking, and I didn't hear back from him. I was like, oh man, I don't know.
Next year we'll expand.
Should have just posted it, right? Just did it and see what
Mhm.
happened
Hmm.
next time. I don't know. Eddie, quit directing people to do things. We're already on a good run right now. That suicide thing. Eddie's on that suicide thing.
Survival.
Survival thing. Whatever it's
Survival.
called. Oh my goodness. Okay, before I forget, Alyssa, this is your time right now. Because I
My
saw a
time.
post, not that I follow Alyssa or I'm watching her or nothing like that, but
Sticking outside
sometimes
your house
I'll,
under
see, I'll
bushes.
see a post that she has. So I see this post, and there's this duck on her Jeep, right? I'm like, oh, I know there's a meaning to everything, right? So I have to Google it and go, oh, okay, there's a meaning for it. And I'll let you explain. It's only for Jeep people, right?
Right. It's like the Jeep community. There's a couple of things. There's the ducks. They're like duck Jeep or ducking Jeep. What you do is you get the little yellow rubber duckies. They have different ones dressed different ways. And when you see another Jeep, you leave a note, like a little nice note, like, oh, nice ride or nice wheels or nice rig or whatever you want to say. And you leave the duck along with the note. It's just a kind of like a friendly, kind, spreading kindness, and it's just done throughout the Jeep. And it's mostly with Jeep Wranglers, but you can do any Jeep. If you see a Jeep Compass or whatever the other ones are, Cherokee, you can leave
Liberty.
it too. But yeah,
Liberty.
You have good taste. He's right on there. You have good taste in cars.
So
Yeah.
you have to leave. Can you just leave a duck? Do you have to actually leave a
you
note?
can leave a duck. Yeah, the person that left my duck just left the duck. They didn't leave a note, but I have already pre-printed little
Ducks.
tags that I leave when I leave my ducks.
So
And it's fun.
do you Jeep people like carry like a bag of ducks around, or
Mhm.
really?
Yeah, I don't know if you've seen another post of mine. I have like it's like one of the trash bags that hook onto your car seat, but it's a duck. It's got ducks all over it, and that's where I keep all my little ducks inside that I give away. And then the ducks that I get, I put on my dashboard.
So, so when you
I had to take
when
a
you bought
picture
this
of it.
Jeep, did you know about this, or you find out after you
I
bought
didn't. Actually, I didn't. My
She-
daughter told me.
She got the Jeep just for it.
it just to get rubber duckies?
Just so I could give ducks away. No, I didn't know. I didn't know, but I guess like in certain states, it's like a huge thing. It's huge, like Florida, Colorado, like more, back east kind of thing. It's really, really popular. And I was like, oh, okay. And then there's also when you see a Jeep and you guys pass each other like this, you wave, do this, or you wave. There's different waves that you can do. And
Oh, really?
most of the time I just go like this. and it's kind of cool because they do it back,
Really?
It's just something that, the Jeep community does.
So what would happen if somebody drove by and didn't have a Jeep and waved at you? Nothing?
I'd
Let's run
wave,
them
I'd
off
be
the
like,
road.
Okay. And it's funny because I've seen other cars with like other brands of cars with the ducks on them. I'm like, I look at the car and I'm like, you're not a Jeep. But
Why did they pick a duck? Do you know?
From what I understand, it is because the little rubber ducky brings like happiness and joy to like the little kids when they're playing in the bath, or they just like the little duck, like you think of Sesame Street and Ernie and his little rubber ducky, and it just brings happiness. So I think they chose the duck because to bring that to adults.
So they just chose it.
Yeah.
There was because of Ernie.
I don't think because of Ernie, but I mean, just because, it's supposed to be a symbol of
brings happiness. She just said.
Okay.
Yeah.
Pay attention.
And it's kind of cool because like I've ducked somebody, and we went to go. I've ducked somebody. We went to go eat, and
I better go buy
you
a
see
Jeep.
the guy. I was actually able to see the guy. He got the duck, and he was like so like you can see just he was happy. He's taking pictures of it. He's holding the duck, and then his Jeep in the background, and he's doing all these things. And I'm like, and my boyfriend was like, oh, why? Before this happened, he goes, why are you always putting ducks on Jeeps? I'm like, because it puts a smile on someone's face. The way the world is now, it's like everybody's such a Debbie Downers, and to bring happiness to somebody or make somebody smile.
Yeah.
And then we were eating lunch, and I go, look, I think it's that guy, because we were trying to figure out whose car it was, because we were in a small little burger place. And I go, I wonder if it's that guy's. And then we see the guy going, and then he's like taking pictures, and he was like all happy. And then my boyfriend's like, oh, okay, now I see why. I see why you do it. Because people get happy.
Gets all jazzed about it.
Yeah. It's kind of cool.
Eddie?
You can make someone's day.
Yeah. Yep. They
So
could be having a bad day, and
Yeah, they
all
can
of
be
a sudden they
having
have
a bad
duck.
day, and then they'll go outside and there's a duck on their car, and it changes their day around.
Yeah.
Wow, that's crazy. That's all it takes, huh? We were just talking about earlier how people don't like when you're going ahead in life or doing good. Just keep them ducks around.
It depends on the person. It depends on the person.
Yeah. I mean, sometimes I like to tell people sometimes if I see something, they're dressed nice, or they have a nice hat, or their purse is nice, or their shirt's nice, whatever. I'm like, oh, that's a nice shirt, because you never know what that person's going through during the day.
Yeah, that's very good.
Everybody always wants a compliment.
Yeah, I do that too.
However, when it was raining, this last time it was raining, I have like those disposable ponchos in my car just in case. And I had one in my car, and I saw this girl walking in the rain with no umbrella, no nothing. And she was getting ready to cross the street, and I was at the red light, and I was going to make a right. And I roll my window down, and I'm like, excuse me. I go, are you walking far? And that's all I got out. And the light had turned green. She goes, I'm just walking over there. Like she thought I actually cut her off. And I was like, and then I turned to her, and I was like, oh, bitch, I was just going to give you a poncho so you don't be all soaking wet, but forget you.
See, that's why I'm never nice to people, because I always get that. So you know what?
Yeah. So it was like I was all irritated because she got mad because she thought I cut her off, from crossing the street. And I'm like, I was going to just give you a poncho so you won't be so wet. But
yeah, it's good to make someone's day every once in a while. Sometimes you just never know what they're going through, and then you can say something that encourages them, and it just changes their day.
Alyssa tried, and look what happened.
Yeah, I tried. Exactly.
She got flipped off.
9 out of 10 times it's going to work for the positive.
Probably, yeah. But some people just don't want that help.
Yeah, or they don't want to be bothered, or why are you talking to me?
Yeah, and they're all like, oh, God, or, hey, the way things are today, you got to be careful, too. Do that. They think, oh, you're after them, or you want their ass or something, or...
Right, or like I was going to offer her a ride, or, I'm like, I'm not giving you're not getting wet in my car, no. I'll give you a poncho.
It might have been the woman that got stuck in Eddie's car that one time. Bring that story full circle.
She didn't get stuck.
Eddie did all that stuff before this cancel culture started. Eddie did it when it was still okay to pick up hitchhikers. And...
I used to do good deeds.
Yes, you did.
Good for Eddie.
Until they were kidnapped.
Eddie does good deeds for Eddie.
Yeah.
Whatever happened to that car, Eddie? Did you?
You lost it in Tijuana.
Oh,
I got rid of it.
Did you trade it in?
Yeah, I traded it in for a Jaguar.
for a hubcap.
What is that noise? Is that Eddie again?
That's my phone.
Oh.
Eddie's getting the calls.
Yep.
Oh my gosh. Okay, well, okay. People that are obsessed with people of the opposite sex. When is it okay to be like that? Like, just say
It's
Never?
never okay to
as
stalk people.
as
I know.
well, hold on, hold.
I'm all
Jeez
never.
Okay, some people can say you're obsessed with somebody, but what if you just really like them, right? Now, you know,
There's a difference, though.
yeah, but hold on, Eddie. Yeah, that's why I want to know what the difference is. Like, Alyssa, if somebody's obsessed with you and they just, they just like you, they just like, hey, I think she's beautiful. They're talking to you, and they're not
Writing songs.
following you around, and they're just every time they see you. Now, is that obsessed? Is that okay, or is there another word for just liking somebody a lot?
Infatuated?
Well,
Yeah,
yeah.
like she's like you're the best thing, the prettiest thing they've ever seen in their world, and they're not. Every time they see you, of course they get all happy like the duck, and they're just make over you and stuff like that. Is that being obsessed or just maybe
No.
trying to catch your
Well, it
heart or
just
something?
depends. It's like, are they texting? Are they trying to message me? Are they trying to text me? Are they trying to, you know, take me to lunch or dinner, or what degree of obsessed is it? Or do they just admire me from afar and I don't even know that they like me?
No, they admire you and they talk to you. Maybe they didn't even ask for your number or nothing. They just think you're the most beautiful person, and every time they see you, they let you know. They don't ask for your number. They don't want to take you out. Of course, they
Well, I
probably
don't think
would,
that
but they're
would be
maybe
like
nervous.
obsessed. That would be like maybe secretly obsessed, like kind of almost like a secret admirer. They come off as a friend and then they really like me and I don't know it. But do I know they like me?
The
Do
guy
I
that wrote
know
her a
they're
song,
obsessed with
Steve.
me?
Well, I would think you would know. I mean, if
Like the
somebody
guy that
pays
wrote her a
attention,
song is. I
That
think
I
that
didn't know. Yeah, I
that
didn't
would
know
be.
that guy liked me.
Alyssa, he wrote you a song. You
She
just
didn't
don't.
know.
know.
You either like you or they want that booty or something. You don't just sit down and however long it takes to write a song for a woman, and think, wow, he had nothing to do, and that's pretty nice. He set some time for me aside and wrote a love song for me.
But she
Well,
didn't know,
once
so
I
she
heard
was.
the song, I was like, oh, okay. And I
The
heard
puzzle
the
came.
words.
Okay,
puzzle
is
came
Oh.
together.
obsessed and a stalker the same, or is that two different things too?
I think it's two different things.
I think it's two different things. Stalking is where you actually go and cross the line and you're actually following the
Mhm.
person and you're texting them and
Yeah.
you're constantly, that's all you do. Obsessed, I think you can kind of be obsessed with somebody like from afar and not cross that line. You can, have pictures of them or whatever, look at their Facebooks and stuff, but you don't cross that line where you're like sitting outside their house or you're following them here and there. You're going to their place of work. You're trying to send them flowers all the time or,
Oh,
stuff like that.
Yeah, that's
so
stalking, where you're
Yeah.
camped out
Okay.
in
And
front of her
that's happened
house.
to me a
Or
couple times.
scary.
Of course it did.
Yeah.
Of course it did, Alyssa. So, how about if a guy came up to you and just told you that, I just think you're hot, and that's just it. I just think you're hot, and every chance I get, I sometimes I think about you and stuff like that. But they draw the line right there. But they have a conversation with you about it, and every
Mhm.
time, not that they ask to text you all the time, but when you run into them, you know how they feel about you, and they kind of draw that line there. That's about as far as I can go.
Yeah.
But if I could, I would. Maybe they're married or maybe they're in a relationship or whatever. But they just think you're a very, very attractive person, and if things were different, they would may have the hots for you, but they draw the line there. But they let you know, hey, I think you're a pretty hot chick.
Yeah.
That's not a stalker,
I mean,
though.
yeah, it's not a stalker. I think
But
maybe
it's thinking about you.
a little bit on the obsession side, but not.
It's not a
Doesn't sound
stalker. I
like
think
too
it's
bad.
just
Yeah.
It's just,
So obsession's okay in some if it's done okay in a
if it doesn't
decent
The
cross
proper
the line.
way. The
proper way.
obsessed the proper way.
Yeah, I guess where you tell them and go,
cross the line.
yeah, I really
Yeah,
want
where
that
they
booty,
don't
but
cross
I'm
that
gonna,
line. Yeah,
Yeah,
they
they don't cross
respect.
that line.
Yeah,
it's
they
a
respect
respectful
your space.
obsession.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, there we go. There's a new word. Get that out there, people. It's,
Respectful obsession.
yes, respectful obsession.
So
And
to the
no,
woman that
Alberto,
Steve
Alberto's,
respectfully obsesses about, get over yourself.
yes, no, Alberto. I'm surprised he's probably saying yes, Steve. Who you obsessed with and all that?
Exactly.
It's not about me.
Yeah,
It's,
it's always about you.
no, it's not. Yeah, yeah. I don't know. There's people out there that like people, and don't know how to really do it, but some people can do it and do it like that, a respectful obsession. And some people take it a little farther, and it goes both ways too. Girls do the same with men.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It's
Then
not
you have
just,
those ones that are obsessed and they're already in the relationship with the person. I was watching. I hadn't seen it in a long time, but last night I was watching America's Most Wanted, and there was that
the new
one. Yeah, with his son. His son now.
Yeah.
So they went back to I don't know if you remember. I don't remember what her name was, Tanisha or something like that. She was a girl. This couple had known each other in high school, and then they went their separate ways, and then got back together. And she was really obsessed with him, really controlling. And then she ended up killing him and dismembering him. And now she's on the run. It's crazy because she was so jealous, so controlling, so obsessed with him, and she was always with him. He couldn't go anywhere without her. And she ended up killing him and then dismembering him.
That
and they had
like
found his body on the side of the highway.
That's an obsession. That's an obsession.
Yeah, that's a bad obsession.
That's fatal attraction.
If I can't have you, no one can.
Exactly, and that's how she was.
Yeah, that's not good.
Nope.
That's not good at all.
Nope.
Yeah, there's there are women are like that too. Guys are like that, and girls. And if you don't want them no more, things could go south real quick. Remember Eddie, your girl Jody Arias?
Mm-hmm.
Eddie didn't even know who that was. She was all over the news.
I didn't know she was.
But we showed him one picture, man. He hearts in his eyes.
She was pretty. She's I don't know what she looks. I don't know what she looks like now, but I didn't know who she was. That's how much I watch the news.
Well, it's a good thing we told you. What if Eddie ran into her and they started dating? Eddie ended up being one of the casualties.
Oh boy.
Oh gosh.
Is she out?
No, that was Eddie.
I'll search for you, Eddie.
She's not.
I get her confused with that Casey Anthony.
Oh.
So that's a different.
There's that one girl that killed her mom, Gypsy Rose.
Lorena Bobbitt.
Oh, that's right.
Gypsy Rose just got out.
Oh yeah,
did she kill her or had somebody kill her?
She had somebody. Supposedly the boyfriend killed her, and then she. Yeah.
Actually watched her. Actually watched.
She was on 2020.
How did she get out? Did she say? Did she
Accomplice.
tell on him? Huh?
How did she get out?
No, did she tell on the boyfriend? How did she get out so early? I mean, that's pretty early.
She was up for parole, and
she was up for parole, and she. Yeah.
Well, how long?
I actually watched the thing, and I think it was Hulu that had her the.
Yeah.
Okay, but was it years, 30 years ago or
she
something?
Was,
how did you get
no,
out
it
on parole
was
for murder?
10 years.
10.
Yeah, I think it's 10 years.
So she didn't get a deal or something for something like that? That sounds like a deal. 10-year sentence with the possibility of parole.
She didn't actually commit the murder. Yeah, good behavior, and she didn't do the murder.
But when you're the mastermind behind it, they get put away for a long time, don't they?
Well, I don't think she was a mastermind though. I think it was all
she
the
just
boyfriend.
told him that she wanted to get out. She needed to get out of where she was because
she was
mom was giving her so many medications, and
she was
claiming
mentally.
She had her mom was not all there.
Abused.
Oh, so there was some kind of reason she was not being treated right.
Her mom claimed, her mom claimed that she was sick, that she couldn't leave, she couldn't leave the house because she would get sick, and so
she was in a wheelchair.
And she was
she
in a
had
bubble.
Muscular dystrophy. She had
The
little girl. This is what the mom claims that she had.
The mom kept the girl in a bubble, she couldn't do anything because
she had leukemia. She had all this stuff. and she was giving her all these medications.
Okay, wait a
And
minute.
she was saying
The
she
one that-
wasn't able to walk. She was in a wheelchair.
and she wasn't.
And
And she could walk. There was nothing wrong with her. She was perfectly healthy.
Mhm.
She goes, the only thing that's wrong with me is I have a lazy eye.
Oh God, no.
Yeah. But can you
Yeah,
imagine?
so
I was like, all those medications.
I don't know how many she took. So the mom was she trying to hurt her on purpose, or
No, she was just kept her isolated.
Yeah.
I mean, was
She's
something
controlling?
wrong with the mom?
Another controlling.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
her mom
Something wrong
had
with-
mental
Yeah, her
issues.
mom mental issues.
Okay, so they kind of went light on her then for that reasons, probably. Then she
Yeah,
just
it's like
didn't
a
go.
form of abuse.
Okay, that makes sense because I was like, damn, if she hired somebody to kill or made somebody,
Yeah.
you've heard of all these things where they tell their boyfriend or whoever, yeah, they're lying, they're being mean to me, and God, I'm having a miserable life, and only if somebody would just get her, and then the
Kill 'em.
boyfriend goes, I got this, and then
Yep.
the boyfriend, they keep quiet for a while, then they tell him, well, it was her, she wanted her dad, and I felt bad for her, and they both get a big sentence.
What?
So the mom must have been hurting her in some way, I guess.
Well, yeah, like she kept her. She was making things up about her that she wasn't really sick.
Because I
And
heard
she
some
got all
people
these.
that
She
don't
got a
like her.
house. She got a house. She was like, they lived in New Orleans, and they were already like investigating her for fraud. So she was in New Orleans, and then when Katrina hit, it like wiped out their house, and then they moved over to, I can't remember what state, but then that state was like they're real giving people, and so they have a lot of churches and charities and stuff, and so they ended up giving her a house from what is it, Humans for Humanity,
Habitat.
or whatever it's called, Habitat for Humanity.
Mhm.
Yeah, gave her a house, and they were so happy and da 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 da. So the mom was just like, if I keep her sick, I can kind of keep getting all this stuff.
Mhm.
And so she was lying. She was saying that she was sick, and there was a time where she actually said, I didn't even know how old I was. I stopped asking how old I was because I didn't know. She didn't know how old she was. And like she looked like she was like 12, and she was really like 19, 20.
19, yeah, 19.
What's her
20.
name?
Gypsy Rose.
So
Because I've heard of that. I've heard of her or something, and
yeah, because she was in the news last month because she just got out last month.
Okay, and some people don't like her, right?
Well, some people think that because she was conspiracy for murder, she, deserves to be in jail.
So
Some people think that 10 years is not enough.
So do you think she told the boyfriend to kill her, or did she kind of like just tell him stories where he was gonna take matters in his own hands, or did you think she actually said, "Hey"?
I think she asked him, but she didn't think he would actually do it.
Damn.
Because the show that she let him in the house, and she told him like where she was going to be, where the mom was going to be, and so I could see where she was an accomplice. But if you watch the movie or whatever,
yes,
you kind of understand. Yeah, you kind of understand why they gave her a lighter sentence, because.
What do you think, Eddie?
She didn't actually commit the murder, but then she went through a lot. I mean,
do you think 10 years was enough, or not enough, or too much?
I think so.
Too much?
Yeah.
No,
she said she actually had more freedom in jail than she did growing up.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so what we got here is you two think she probably she should have probably got something lighter from what she went through, you think? Or do you think 10 years was enough?
I think 10 years is enough.
Even though everything she went through?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So, okay.
Her whole life, she was basically a prisoner.
Mm-hmm.
So 10 years in jail to get out of what you were going through in life.
Mm-hmm.
Man, that's pretty heavy.
She said, like as she got older, she got interested in boys and stuff, and her mom would say, no. Her mom would call her a whore, call her a slut, wouldn't feed her for a couple of days, stuff like that. So it was, it's not physical. I guess that would be physical abuse, not feeding your child and mental abuse and all that stuff. Oh, Steve's frozen.
Oops.
Can't hear you.
Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Do you think there could have been another way? Like I said, I don't know how that feels to be in that kind of situation, but I mean, was she old enough to get up and leave? If she had a boyfriend, she had a boyfriend, right?
She had a boyfriend, but I don't think I don't remember if the mom knew she had a boyfriend or.
So she
they have gone to the movies.
Yeah, I don't remember, but
yeah.
So she couldn't get up and leave or do nothing like that. She had
no, because supposedly she couldn't walk.
Yeah.
Yeah, but she could apparently, right? Unless she went to jail walk, and got her legs back.
They had went on a date. The mom, she told the mom she wanted to go see Cinderella, and the boyfriend had met them there, and the mom kind of got a clue that she knew this guy because they were always just chatting online.
Yeah.
And she's like, I don't want you seeing him. I don't want you talking to him. Da 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 da. And she said that the whole movie she sat right next to him, even though her mom didn't want her to. She sat next to him, and then she said when she got home, her mom beat her and chained her to the bed and all this stuff because she defied her mom.
How old was this woman?
The mom?
No,
the girl
daughter.
She was probably about 19 at the time.
She was like 19, but she looked like she was 13 or 12.
Alberto, do you think she could have got up and left, or is she already brainwashed to think she can't do anything?
I don't know the details of the case, so I don't know.
Well, I'm just somebody that's helps controlling her and chains her up and tells her what to do, how to run her life, and stuff that me and you and everybody would be looking, going, well, just leave. But people that are in that situation says they can't. I don't have
if that's been her whole life, mentally maybe she can't leave. But I mean, if she's, she didn't go to the movie by herself. I know her mom took her, but if she's making friends online and has contact to the outside world, she should know that this is wrong. I mean, I don't know why. They got
older.
They went to the movies. How come she's in hey mom, I'm going to the restroom, and then just now 911 and I don't know. I don't know the
go outside.
Because she probably didn't know any of that stuff because she was so isolated. She probably didn't.
It was kind of like that family with all those kids that they had, remember, chained to the beds, and I forgot what their names were. They had like 10 kids. I don't think
they ever let them out, did they?
No.
She was able to go out, though.
Yeah,
right?
she was able to go out, and you see her like on the news, and Make-A-Wish would send them to Disneyland and all this stuff. So the mom was benefiting.
Mom was using her for her financial.
Yeah. So this is a Munchausen thing, I guess.
Yeah.
So
not so much for attention, but even attention and money.
So as long as she made her mom happy with doing stuff like that, she felt like, oh, okay, everything's okay.
I don't think she was doing it willingly. I think she either believed what it sounds like. Like I said, I don't know much about this case. It sounds like the mom just had it in her head, and then she's not going along with it. She's saying it and doing it because she believes it. So, but I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know if 10 years was too much or too little. I mean, because to kill somebody, and this is what I guess you're saying. The boyfriend, she got the boyfriend to do it. So this is meditated. This is.
Because
I think there was many ways for her to escape, especially if she's 19 or said she was 19.
I think she was actually 21 or something at the time of the murder.
So she's a full-on adult. She can just up and up leave.
But she didn't function as an adult though. She.
And then I don't know about.
Yeah, her mom even had a feeding tube in her.
Mm-hmm. I don't know. Then I don't know about this guy who killed the mom. I don't know. What is he thinking?
Yeah.
Well, my point is, okay, I can understand she's living through bad stuff, and she doesn't know what to do, but she has, or however she got the boyfriend, maybe just telling him how miserable she is, and for him to kill her, she's going to be on her own anyway, even if they get away with it. I mean,
I think that's why the boyfriend killed her, because they wanted to be together, and with the mom in the picture, they couldn't.
just take her away. She's an adult. I mean, like, why don't they just go pick her up and go, hey, we're leaving town.
I
I
mean,
want to marry you, or whatever the hell they want to do
Un-
together.
Well,
unless
she's married now.
unless the mom wants, because somehow found the way through the courts to just be like a guardian, treat her as a child, and she can't do anything for herself.
Yeah,
Well,
her
I
mom
would
was her
think she would
caregiver.
finally say something like, hey, they're doing this and there's nothing wrong with me. All they had to do was
Hmm.
check her out, basically, right?
Yeah, and that's
Just
what she
one.
said too. She kind of blamed the doctors because all of her tests and surgeries that she's had, all of her tests, blood tests and everything, all came back normal. And she didn't understand how her mom was able to manipulate the doctors for her to have a surgery or for her to go through this treatment or go through that treatment. It was crazy.
Weird.
Yeah. I just
Yeah,
watched the
weird.
2020. It was on 2020 a couple nights ago. And it was just
Interesting.
crazy. Yeah.
Are you okay with what happened, or do you
I
like? Are
mean,
you
there's
like
no
okay that
really,
she had her killed? Are you okay with that
I
because
don't,
of the,
I don't think there's any reason someone needs to be killed. But, she could have, mom could have spent the rest of her life in jail, instead of being killed. But,
it's a situation that nobody knows
hmm
unless you're in it, I guess.
yeah.
But I always think like when people say, "Well, I don't know how to get out," or I couldn't, or I couldn't do this," yet they're free to come and go as they want.
Hmm.
But they plan out a murder pretty good, and it's like, okay, well, you can't do that, but you can sure sit down with somebody and plan a murder.
Yeah.
That's the part that's hard for me. I could see if somebody's so messed up because that's the way they brought up, they wouldn't know how to plan a murder. They would just live like that for until somebody found out of from afar and turned them in and go, hey, I think this person's being treated cruelly.
Yeah.
And then people would have to come in and investigate. But to actually set up a murder, like you said, she told them where she was going to be and where to go and all this. It's like she kind of had some kind of not smarts, but like she wasn't all beat up, where she didn't know where she was coming or going. I
Yeah.
think I don't know. Anyway, I just heard about her about a month ago. I saw something on the news. I never knew nothing about that. I was like, who's
Yeah.
Gypsy whoever? I was like,
Gypsy Rose. Yeah. I didn't know either until I saw, I kind of heard about her and then kind of like a while, like maybe probably when she first killed her mom, I probably remember hearing about her. But, and then you kind of just forget about her. And then now she's like all over the place, you know.
crazy.
So I'm like, okay, well, let me see what this story's about.
That's pretty crazy, but it must have been something that caught Eddie's attention because he watched it.
Well, I
Yeah.
watch it because it was I
You
like
felt
true stories. I
Yeah.
like true documentaries. I like those, so
Documentaries.
that's why I watched it. And yeah, it was pretty good.
That's funny. You guys should be talking about this. I started watching something because I heard something on the news. Remember Scott Peterson?
Hmm.
Yes.
How they're these what are those people called? They
Innocence
go
Project.
yes. So
Mm-hmm.
and it's like, well, okay, whatever. And then I started reading something about something, and somebody said, I was watching this thing on Hulu. There's a thing on there, and they name of it, and they go, I watched that, and I thought, you know what? I don't think he did it. So I
Yeah.
started watching it. I haven't gone through all of it, but I started watching it. I was like, wow, with the things they're talking about that they never released to the public.
Mm-hmm.
So far, I haven't seen it all, but I was like, man, it doesn't sound like he did do it. He sounded like he was a jerk, but everything
Yeah.
that they were saying he did was not true. But they just kept. I don't know how it got into the news. So I forget what it's called. Something Lacey Peterson something. But it's very interesting, Eddie. If you like stuff like that, it's on Hulu. Something about Lacey Peterson murder or something like that, and it goes behind of how the court went along and things that were released that weren't true. And he was pretty much a dead man walking already. They thought he was the one that killed her and the baby.
Yeah.
But I haven't finished the whole thing, but so far I'm like, I haven't really seen anything. The only thing I saw was he was messing around with that chick, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Having
And
an affair.
basically lying and doing all this. But, as far as the murder, I don't know. It's weird. I think it's just called, I don't know. If you have a chance, Eddie, check it out if you like stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
But I was watching it, I was like, man, maybe he is. I'm thinking, man, imagine being in, how long has he been in jail? About 20 some years?
He got life, didn't he?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I
got
think
death.
so.
He got death.
Is
But
it
they
death?
overturned the death penalty. But
And he
imagine
got death and it got commuted to life, I think.
Yeah.
I forget if we outlawed the death penalty in California or we just the
Or
government
it was
just did
outlawed
it.
at the time, and I think it came back.
No, it wouldn't have been outlawed at the time. Or what? Okay, so it was a long time ago the death penalty. Then it was outlawed in the 70s, and that's why like Manson got to spend the rest of his life in jail because he got the death penalty. But then everybody who had the death penalty got commuted to life, and then I guess back in the 80s they brought it back. So
what happened with him? Did they overturned his sentence or something?
with Manson or Peterson?
Peterson.
No, he's still in jail. They just
No,
they turned the death penalty, death sentence into life.
But they did it through the courts or through law?
Good law.
Through the courts, law, same thing,
No, but I mean, did he get some kind of mini retrial and said, okay, well, we think we're not going to
No, it's just when the law changed,
Yeah, but I thought they brought it back. This was in the 2000s, wasn't it?
But he got
reading
he got
here
the death penalty.
from ABC News, Scott Peterson sentenced to life without parole in 2002 for the murder of his wife. In 2020, the Supreme Court overturned Peterson's death sentence, citing that his jury was improperly screened for bias against the death penalty. So I guess it was procedural when they sat the jury. I don't know. According to this, I guess they have to ask him something. Are you favor or are you against? Something went wrong there. So I guess they gave him death and then they go
back.
this.
Okay.
So they were okay with the guilty verdict, but not the sentencing.
Not the death sentence.
Yeah.
Alyssa, do you think he didn't have a chance?
I don't think so. I mean,
I don't either.
There's so much stuff as technology has advanced so much since back then. So I'm sure with the Innocence Project, people they'll find something that makes him innocent if he truly is. I remember when it first happened, people used to say I looked like her. I don't look like her now because I'm old, but yeah.
Or she never got the chance to become old.
Peterson. Yeah.
Maybe a little bit. Yeah.
What do you got? Picture of Lacey Peterson?
I do. I have one that back then. I have a picture of me and Lacey Peterson like side by side.
So do I.
It's like on my Facebook somewhere.
I think that's you do a little bit. That's right. That's another that you mentioned it.
Why don't you think he did it, Steve? From what you've seen.
Because of
what you've been watching
before I was like, oh well. I used to always think, man, what because everybody said, look at he doesn't have any emotions and all this in the court and all this and the way he went about things, and I was thinking, maybe some people are just like that, imagine if you're like that.
Everybody grieves differently.
Yeah, imagine if you're like that and you're just, he doesn't look at what an animal, and you go to jail for life or get put to death, and that's just the way you are, and you get crucified for that just because look at he doesn't even care. He needs to be put in jail.
That could be shock. He's in shock.
And it tells things that explains why he was like that. And it's the lawyers that were talking to him, things that were happening in the court, and it tells everything that how this thing was playing out that we never heard. And I don't know, you have to watch it. It's very interesting. And that
check it out.
Yeah,
that the people that saw her walking around when he apparently already had killed her, that they didn't really want any of their information. There was like not just one person that seen her walking around the day after and stuff like that. There was like multiple people. And
Maybe it was Alyssa.
You know, they never came back. And
maybe it was Alyssa.
Were you walking a dog? You walk dogs, don't you?
It wasn't me.
Maybe Alyssa's really Lacey Peterson.
Right?
Maybe.
She's really not dead. That's why he's innocent.
Alyssa did a Gone Girl on Scott.
Oh, gosh. No, but I think it's called The Death of Lacey Peterson, and it's on Hulu. And you guys can check that out and see what you think. And imagine if they go through it and they find out it wasn't really him after all that time. Being the most hated man in the world at that time.
Wouldn't be the first time. There's so many people that have been proven innocent.
Yeah, but not like this. This was all over, plastered all over the news.
Well, there's some cases where
that's like you, Eddie. Everybody, you know, you're a nice guy. You're easygoing. That's what they're saying. This guy had nothing he did ever wrong. That'd be like Eddie. I picture Eddie like this, and then imagine like he's all over the news going.
Snapped. They just kind of snapped.
He killed his girlfriend and she was pregnant. Like, Eddie? No. I've never seen Eddie mad in my life. And what, just all of a sudden he just decided to go home and kill his girlfriend?
Eddie's in jail. We're here on the M25 show just talking about, no, Eddie couldn't do it.
No way. And he's all, well, look at Eddie. He's still smiling. Well, that's Eddie.
Snapped.
You know, he just has a smile on his face. Yeah, well, I don't know. I guess, I don't know. He never had a chance anyway. Even if they were going to let him go, they were going to let his ass go. So, I don't know. Only, you know, we'll never know. Even if they do say, hey, he didn't do it, I don't know how they do that. I mean, I don't know how somebody else who did it, or they think it was a couple guys that were, I don't know.
Burglarizing houses?
Those guys, but the route that she would take walking her dogs, I don't know if it was those guys that followed her to the park, because she went around the neighborhood and it went into this park. It was kind of like a forest park, and they think I don't know if it was those guys, but a couple of guys that her dog was barking at them, and they saw somebody that there was a retirement home. And there was a lady sitting there and kind of saw something going on with a dog barking at some guys. And the pregnant lady was trying to, hey, calm down. And the guys were yelling at her, just shut that fucking dog up. And they think something might have happened there. Nobody really knows, you know. So there was just witnesses that they never came back.
Never came forward?
More. They knew about it, but they...
Oh.
Yeah, you're breaking up, Steve. It's time for Steve to break up.
Yes. Yep. Anyway, man, this has just turned into the court show. The court show. Hey, dude. I mean, I don't mean to. I mean, hey, look. If somebody did something wrong, they need to pay for it. If you didn't do something wrong. That's kind of that court thing, man. I just,
well, it's,
you know, you never know when you go in there. You could be innocent as a mother, and you get just because maybe somebody's setting you up, or you just have a bad lawyer, or
I know Steve gave me a hard time, but that second court case that I did, the prosecution's case was look at what it says on this van. That was basically it. You know, it was a delivery driver.
What did it say on his van?
You know, on time for less, and they're like, he was going to make those deliveries no matter what, and and then evidence after evidence, and nothing to prove that what happened. It was just evidence was show that he was done delivering. He was just doing pickups from boxes, like drop boxes, and the prosecutor goes, well, of course that's what he's going to say. My motherfucker, there's the fucking paper. My last two court cases, I mean, it's something you got to be careful, because sometimes they just prosecute you just to prosecute you. And if you're unlucky enough, like what was Scott Pearson's, he went fishing and then he came back, she was gone. It's
Yeah, I'm not saying the guy didn't do it or did it, but could you imagine he really was just going fishing and this happened and he come, what's going on? What happened? And then they're like, oh, you monster! Like what? You killed your baby, and I mean, it didn't help him that he was cheating. That didn't help, but that still doesn't mean that he.
There's what is called circumstantial. It's okay. It's motive, but it's not actual hard evidence.
Yeah.
There's like, I mean, we could have, us in the jury, we're gonna go, oh yeah, he's a crazy delivery driver. Just speeding from one place to one place and make his deliveries, and
Yeah.
I don't know.
They could say, yeah, he's gonna do. Look at his truck. Yeah, like you said, he's got to make it no matter what.
Because I think the thing is, it's like I said, because when you say,
what was he accused of?
In my case,
yeah, that's what you're talking about.
So it was basically so he's making a left-hand turn, and he hit somebody on a bike and kills him.
Oh god.
Oh, okay.
So
in a murder case?
It wasn't it would have been vehicular manslaughter. So the whole case comes out to, so he's making the left, so he's crossing on the other side of traffic, and so the whole case comes into, is the guy on the other side coming towards him or coming from behind, like against traffic? Which, if he's coming from behind, that's an accident. If he's coming forward, that is, if we found him to be negligent, that's manslaughter. And like I said, it was all basically 99% was, oh, he's a desperate delivery driver, trying to make his deliveries. Look what it says on his van, and he just, he just took that turn and didn't stop for him and took him out.
So what happened to him?
So what was the verdict?
Well, we're not guilty because I said it in the jury room, and people agree. It's like, I know you can't tell me that the guy was coming the right way on the bike, on the other side of the street with traffic. There was no evidence. I mean, we heard where he worked. We don't know when he left. We didn't know what he did. I mean, it was. I'm sorry, you can't prove it to me beyond reasonable. I have a reasonable doubt. I can reasonably believe that he came the wrong way, and it was from behind, so he didn't really see him until the last second, and he couldn't avoid him.
Interesting.
I mean, it's
nobody saw it.
They brought in one witness who wasn't part of the witness list at the beginning of the trial. This looked like, I've always said to people who I talk to about it, I always say that, okay, we went up as a group, the jury, from the jury room up to the floor, and we were outside the courtroom. I saw this guy walk in, the prosecutor. Then we walked in like 5 minutes later, and we were told about the case. And I'm thinking that the prosecutor actually found out what this case was about just when we did, because he did not look prepared at all. So, I mean, I don't know. I mean, maybe he was a negligent. Maybe he was on his cell phone. They try to throw everything at him. Oh, he was on his cell phone, but no record, no cell phone records, nothing. Like they brought in this witness, this girl who was in the, I don't know where on the traffic, waiting to turn or something, and saw it. But they brought her in late. I remember they left us go one day early because I guess the lawyers were going to discuss about it with the judge. We left early, and the next day she was there.
That's a weird case where nobody saw nothing, so that's kind of rough. That's kind of like a he said, she said.
It was basically the witness was,
Where were they driving, in the country or something where nobody was around?
In the city. I mean, a busy intersection. And then after the case, I went and looked to see if I could see anything online after the case, and I'll say that after the case. And then on YouTube, those people who show up at certain things, like those the independent news guys, they have their camera and they get footage and try some. So they had footage, and I'm looking at it. There was one of the sheriff's deputies that has testified, and he's talking to two guys, and he's writing down information, and those two guys weren't called. So obviously, maybe they didn't tell the right thing to the prosecutor. Go, okay, well, and that happens. It's
probably what they wanted to hear.
Yeah, if you're a prosecutor, you want to win the case, and if those guys go, oh yeah, man, he came from that side, it's. I mean, do I believe that everybody who's found guilty is guilty? Obviously not. I don't know about this case. these are. I mean, I was kind of reading right now what they're saying. There's like 4 points. That she was walking her dog after he left to go fishing. Some houses were burglarized. This van was set on fire somewhere nearby, and there was like a blood-soaked mattress in the back. And I guess somebody stole a watch of hers, and it got pawned twice after I think Peterson was in jail or something. So, there's evidence, and why this wasn't brought up in the case. Sometimes it is a judge. I think sometimes for the judge to decide, what evidence is presented, and sometimes I think this happened with the Melendez brothers the first time when they got the hung jury, because there was evidence about the abuse. I mean, we talked about this a few months ago, but then the second case, the judge says no, we're not going to hear about that, and then it takes away, and then this kind of like the Gypsy Rose story, all the abuse. I mean, if the judge had said we're not gonna bring that up, then I mean that changes a lot for her. I mean, maybe she's in for life, and if you bring in too much, then the jury could think, oh yeah, maybe not okay with it, but it's justified, and maybe you'll get a lighter sentence. So I mean, I'll be interested to see this Innocence Project what happens, but
I would like to see a documentary on that. That's what I'd like to see, a documentary.
Yeah.
On.
I found the picture.
Oh no!
Oh
yeah.
I'm telling you, Alyssa's a Gone Girl.
That's when they used to think that was like they're like.
Did you ever post that up or anything on your pages?
I think maybe years ago when she was first murdered. Yeah.
Oh jeez, come on, Alyssa.
Sorry.
She was dead.
I don't think it was because if it was 2002, then no, I don't think I didn't get to Facebook until like 10 years later. But people used to always say, "You look like Lacey Peterson."
Interesting. Yeah, send it to me. I'll check it out a little closer. I can't see too good right now.
Hi.
You see how I do it, Alberto?
Imagine Alyssa shows up to San Quentin and asks to see Scott Peterson.
Scott's watching right now. I'm gonna get her.
Right.
And Alyssa goes in there and goes, "Boo."
Is that where he's at?
No, I think they moved out of San Quentin. It's another jail, but he's not in death row anymore, so then he didn't have to be in San Quentin.
He's not in Pelican Bay?
I do have a picture of me standing outside of San Quentin.
He'd be all, I told you I didn't kill her.
That's her, damn it. All right, this is going to make us famous.
Oh, good. This is what we needed.
I sent it to you.
She's been here.
Wasn't Gone Girl based around this?
Gone? Yeah. And then there was that one. I don't think it was about that. It was because the girl ended up being alive, wasn't she? They were saying the girl
in the movie. Yes. Yeah. I don't know if there was an actual case, but
there is an actual case that came out afterwards. It was the up in Northern California or like San Francisco area. The girl was kidnapped and the boyfriend was drugged and she was missing. And then they had brought her all the way back down to Huntington Beach and released her to go to her dad's house. And everybody thought they were both lying, that the boyfriend was lying, that she was lying, that, because the story was so bizarre and they were saying that they were copycatting Gone Girl. And she's like, no, this actually really happened. And then it did. They finally caught the guy that did it. So it was like a true what happened.
I kind of remember this story.
Yeah.
It says it was inspired by the disappearance and murder of Lacey Peterson.
Yeah.
Oh, was it? Okay.
Uh-huh.
They just took the creative license in the movie of her actually just running away and framing him.
Yeah,
because what that Emily, whatever her last name is, was the Amber Fry.
Yeah, I didn't know that. Cool. I learned something new every day.
Go watch Gone Girl.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to watch it. Well, I'm gonna finish
watching
this
I'm gonna have to watch
first.
it too.
You're gonna watch that thing, Alyssa, and tell me what you think. All right?
What thing?
It's on Hulu. I think it's called the Murder of Lacey Peterson.
My murder? Just kidding.
Yes, the murder of Alyssa Peterson.
That one couple that supposedly got killed, they ended up suing. I forgot who, but they ended up getting like $3 million for.
Yeah, I think they sued the police department.
The police department,
because everybody was like not believing them.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they could turn somebody's life upside down.
Yeah,
mm-hmm.
And then they ended up getting married.
A happy ending.
Couple. Yeah.
Except for Steve. Steve doesn't find that happy.
And Eddie, it's not that kind of other happy ending either.
The Eddie happy ending.
Yes.
I'm like Eddie. I like watching all that stuff.
Yeah, I like watching it. It's interesting.
Yeah.
Interesting.
I watched that and I watched Ghosts.
Ghosts.
Like last night before I was going to bed. No, I'm watching the show called The Most Terrifying Places in America. All haunted places. I was watching that last night before I went to bed.
Oh. Well,
and they would say, "Don't watch it at night. Don't watch it at night." But it doesn't affect me.
Doesn't bother you?
No.
We have to do a ghost show.
Like even my boyfriend's like, "I can't believe you watched that. How could you watch that before you go to sleep?" I'm like, I don't know, because I love it. I like to watch it.
If you like it, you do it, right?
Yeah.
Well, guys, if you're listening, everybody, if you're interested in the Gone Girl, Scott Peterson, Lacey Peterson, what else did we talk about? Gypsy
Rose.
Go check out. Apparently, there's one on Hulu about Gypsy Rose, Eddie.
Yes, it's
Go to Hulu.
There's a docu-series about her, and then also 2020 just aired an interview with her.
2020.
It's
Just all you got to do is
as well.
just Google it, right? Check it out on your TV. And yes, Alyssa, I will watch one of your shows if you watch my show, okay? And then we'll compare.
Right. I want you to watch The Most Terrifying Places in America.
The Most Terrifying Places in America. I will.
That's Steve's bedroom.
Oh, God, stop it. There we go. Okay, with that. Oh, I got another picture to add to my album here. Let me see what it is here. Oh, it's Alyssa Peterson. Okay, I got it. Okay. All right, guys, we're going to get out of here. Thanks for tuning in. Go to our website at them25show.com for all info about our show and sponsors and all that good stuff. And we'll be back next week. Hopefully all of us, but some of us. Will we all be here, guys? Do we know?
I will.
Yes.
Okay, me too. All right, let's get out of here. Let me find our...
Goodbye
I just look for Eddie. There he is. Okay. Eddie's the thumbnail of our ending music.
Our exit button?
Yeah.
Our exit policy.
Everybody, whatever you do, don't kill nobody, all right? Be happy and just...
look, I did fireworks. I got fireworks.
Oh, your background. Your background.
Oh, my background messed it up.
What was fireworks, Alberto?
2 thumbs up.
2 thumbs up.
Oh, yes.
There you go.
All right. Eddie, do it.
I don't have it. I don't have an Apple computer.
Oh, there. Look at him how he says it. Like we should supply him with the Apple computer.
No.
For Christmas, Eddie. We'll the 3 of us will start saving up now.
Mine's fine.
You better get a job at that massage place. You do.
I have an Apple phone.
Just do your show from your phone next time. Or no, we don't do that.
All right, guys. We'll see you guys next week, and stay safe and be good.
Stay dry.
Don't want to see you on a docuseries.
Don't murder somebody.
Yes.
Right.
Okay, for Alberto, Eddie, Alyssa Peterson, and myself, we're the M25 show,
and we're gone.
We'll see you guys next week.
They're guy gone.
It's almost time, kids. The clock.
Wrong one. That's the wrong Eddie.
It's almost Christmas again.
Christmas?
That was a Halloween.
That's Christmas.
Oh God! See, that's what I get for. Oh my God! Where's our ending? Oh, it's right here.
Memories in high school flames, some good, some bad. Can you remember their names? play that song, don't it take